Hi everybody, welcome back. Today we are going to try our hand at making souffles. I've never made a souffle before, and today we are going to try to make a chocolate souffle using a recipe I found on a blog called Seasons and Suppers. Now this particular chocolate souffle is enough for 2 servings, so if you're planning a romantic Valentine's Day dinner, this would be the perfect dessert to make for your someone special. So stay tuned to see whether I nail it or whether I fail it. Before we start on our chocolate souffles, we are actually going to make an orange crème anglaise. A crème anglaise is a custard-based sauce which we're going to drizzle over top of our chocolate souffles, and it's just going to make it a little bit more decadent. So according to this recipe, which I found on chowhound.com, we need to combine the cream, zest, and sugar in a saucepan. The recipe calls for 3/4 of a cup of heavy cream. We're going to put that straight into our saucepan. And then we need 1/3 of a cup of sugar. I'm only going to use half of the sugar at the time so we can test for sweetness. So I'm going to put half of the 1/3 of a cup of sugar in there. And then we're also going to put in our orange zest. When you're zesting your orange, you want to make sure that you don't get any of the white part of the orange because that can actually be really bitter. So we just want to get the orange skin. So we're just going to turn that on. Get a spatula. Stir this up. So we're just going to stir this until the sugar dissolves. So to make the crème anglaise, we're going to need 3 egg yolks. And if you've never separated eggs before, it can be a little bit daunting, but I assure you it's nothing to be worried about. So we will separate our eggs. In a small bowl, I am going to try to get the whites in here. So we've got our 3 egg yolks in our bowl, and we're going to add our remainder sugar in here. And then to this, we are going to add our orange juice. So we're going to take our cream, our sugar, and our orange zest mixture off the heat. And to make the crème anglaise, we are going to have to combine these 2 together. Now the thing is, when you combine the eggs with a hot ingredient, like in this case hot cream, it's going to curdle the eggs and you'll get scrambled eggs instead of a creamy custard. So we're going to let this cool down for a little bit. I'll just leave that off to the side. And the recipe doesn't call for it, but I'm going to add in some orange liqueur just to give it a little extra kick. I've got some Grand Marnier here, and we're just going to do a little drop of it, maybe like a teaspoon or so. So now we are going to mix our orange infused cream into our egg yolk mixture. But instead of dumping the cream in all at once, which will curdle the eggs, I'm actually going to temper it by mixing in a little bit of the cream first while continuously mixing. So let's hope it doesn't curdle. So once we've combined our orange infused cream with our egg yolk mixture, we are going to dump all of this back into our saucepan. And we are going to cook that over medium-low heat just until the sauce thickens. And that is our crème anglaise. So now that our crème anglaise is done, we can get started on our chocolate souffles. So for the chocolate souffles, we are going to start by preheating our oven to 400 degrees. And we need to mix together 1 tablespoon of sugar, half a teaspoon of cornstarch, and 2 egg yolks. Then we are just going to whisk all this together. So in this saucepan, I've got half a cup of half and half, 1.5 tablespoons of butter, and to this, I'm going to stir in some flour. It's 1 tablespoon plus 2.5 teaspoons of flour. It's a really odd measurement, but we will go with it anyways. And a pinch of salt. So once we've got our flour, milk, and butter all mixed and whisked together in our saucepan, we are going to add in our chocolate. The recipe calls for 1 ounce of chocolate. So once we've got our chocolate combined into our milk, butter, and flour mixture, you'll see it's nice and thick like that. We are going to whisk in our egg yolks. So once we've dumped our chocolate mixture into a large bowl, we can start preparing our souffle dishes. Okay, so once we've brushed our ramekins with some softened butter, we are going to dust the inside with some granulated sugar. And then we're just gonna kind of tap that around. Make sure that you get it on the sides too, because that will help the souffle rise. So once we've dusted our souffle ramekins with granulated sugar, we are going to start whipping our egg whites. If you remember at the beginning, we separated our 2 eggs. So now we're going to put in the 2 egg whites in our mixing bowl, and we just whip that until it forms stiff peaks. So it looks like our egg whites have been whipped. You can see that if I were to lift this paddle up, it kind of holds a peak like that. That's how you know it's done. So the recipe doesn't call for it, but I'm going to stir in some vanilla extract just to give our souffles a little bit extra flavor. So now we're going to whisk in our whipped egg whites into our chocolate mixture, and we're going to do that in 3 batches. And we're going to have to fold it in carefully, because if we were to mix it in with our whisk, it's going to cause our egg whites to deflate, which means our souffle won't rise. Okay, so our egg whites have been folded into our chocolate mixture. I can't tell you if this is how it's supposed to look like or not, but this is how it looks like. And we're going to fill our ramekins with this. So once we've filled up our souffle dishes with our chocolate souffle mixture, we are going to pop this into our preheated oven, and we will bake it for about 15 to 30 minutes, and then it's time to eat. So it's been about 20 minutes, and we are going to take our chocolate souffles out of the oven, and we are going to serve them immediately. Ooh. All right, so our chocolate souffles have actually risen really nicely. And as a finishing touch, we are just going to dust over some powdered sugar before we serve these. This recipe makes more than 2 servings, so you might want to consider having a romantic Valentine's dinner for 6. While the souffles were delicious and they only required minimal ingredients, there were just way too many steps involved. I got confused and I forgot to do a step, but in the end, my guests were none the wiser. Would I make it again? Well, it depends. I'd make it for a special occasion, but otherwise, I think I'll stick to brownies if I ever need a chocolate fix. Okay, ladies, so that is our chocolate souffle with our orange creme anglaise. What did you think? Did I nail it or did I fail it?
Nailed it.
Yay! Thank you. What did you ladies like about it?
I like that it was fluffy, chocolatey, and this creme.
Yeah, what is it?
It's an orange creme anglaise.
Yes, that
Thank
was
you.
Amazing.
And how about you, Kathy?
Me, everything about it, as what Johan said, but it wasn't sweet at all, which I liked.
Great, thank you so much. Well, there you have it, everyone. That is our chocolate souffle with our orange creme anglaise. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again next time.
Bye.
Okay, you're done.
I hope that taped.
This would be the perfect recipe to shit.
PG-13.
So okay. Okay, seasons and suppers. And fuck. Sorry. Oh shit, it's not scented, it's infused. Okay. Sorry, I keep swearing. What's wrong with me today? 1, 2, 3. Got some. Shit. What am I saying? I don't know what I'm doing. But instead of dumping it in all, I don't know what I'm saying. I can't talk right now. Let's do this again. But rather than dump olives into I can't talk. Do that one more time. I keep tripping on my tongue. Yeah, I don't know why I put my hairbrush there.
I was for your dog. What is not normal hair?
It's a round brush so that my hair is big. Like you blow dry and you curl it at the same time, which is how it's. Yeah, it's from my dog. I borrow it sometimes. Milk in a saucepan over medium heat to warm. In a separate saucepan, melt the butter. Whisk in flour. What? Okay. I'm confused. Do we have our sugar in here? I don't remember. No.
Of the remaining sugar until the white begin to hold a full.
Third of what remaining sugar?
Yeah.
What? Oops.
The remaining sugar.
Oh.
It'll be okay.
I think I'm gonna fail this one, guys. Oh man, this recipe is a lot more complicated than I thought. Can I see?
Yeah, because it goes like thirds and then...
Goodness gracious, I don't like this. Whatever, okay.